one partner, and especially if it's the woman, is very driven by her career and is out there, doing all sorts of things, getting all sorts of awards, so many achievements. And then on the other side, the husband is not maybe doing as much.
The disconnect is that she might be winning outside, but not winning in the house. When you get into marriage, now we're entering into marriage, and now in marriage, I'm a CEO. Yeah. In marriage, I'm the go-getter. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're the go-getter, then in marriage, we want to see the go-getting also in the marriage.
Go get me a glass of water.
Yeah,
and don't complain. Handling change and handling transition can make or break the marriage.
Absolutely. The key thing in marriage is don't leave your partner behind.
What about the partner who wants to be left behind? So you could be suggesting, let's do this together, but the other person is just not willing.
If they were failures, they would have never married in the first place. They would have failed at their proposal. They succeeded. They succeeded. That human being is not useless. You know who you married. Why do you want to force someone to be an entrepreneur and they don't have it in them?
There has to be some middle ground, because you could be going to all these corporate things and you're regional director of blah blah blah, and so here's my husband, he is a what?
He's a consultant.
He's a consultant.
Yeah.
What is he
He consulted me to get married.
Those questions come to
He consulted me to get married and I said yes.
Wow. Hello.
Hello, Mrs. Salamba.
Hello, Mr. Salamba. How are you?
I am good.
So happy to be here today. Mm-hmm. Always a good time. Never a dull moment. What are we discussing today?
So we were doing part 2. Last week we discussed about growth. Mm. Yeah. In my research and the years I've done marriage or relationship coaching, I've learned 3 major things that fight marriages. Mm-hmm. I have a program for that: friendship, mm-hmm. intimacy, and growth. Mm-hmm. Those 3 things. Yeah. And growth is a very interesting thing. And last week we talked about children and the change that children come with and all the children do and all those things. Mm-hmm. And with the foundational truth that we change daily. We change daily by nature. Yeah. We change rapidly or suddenly by experience or by encounter. Mm-hmm. Or, and also we change deliberately based on pressure and outcomes of life. Mm-hmm. And so we're just discussing that how do couples navigate change? Because you are not the same person that I met 20 years ago.
I hope in a good way.
We'll discuss that in another show.
Hey, okay. She's gonna leave me hanging until the next.
We're going to discuss that next show. Next week. Yes. So like change and change, because people make choices. We talked about children last week. Children bring a whole different thing. Children, I mean, when children enter into a marriage, you're going through a 2-year cycle of change. On average, it's a 2-year cycle of change. Mm-hmm. Normalcy does not resume again, ever. The closest you come to normalcy is when the kids have left the house.
Wow.
That's when and still physically, emotionally, experientially in the marriage, your party years in is when you go back to them not being there again. So it's a very dicey subject. Then also we look at careers. Mm-hmm. And when you marry someone whose ambition surpasses your own, or you have different types of ambition, then they are okay where they are. You found them in a particular place. They don't want to grow. They don't want to move. And the person that you married is a twin turbo. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. That's what we're discussing.
That's what we're discussing. Fun stuff. Yeah, I always feel that change can be used or can be good fuel for the marriage. It can also be, a stumbling block. Depends how couples look at it and how couples support each other through those different transitions. I know we touched a little bit about that last week when we spoke about careers. Mm-hmm. When one individual is extremely, assertive and focused on their career, and it's just go, 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 go. And then the other partner maybe not so much, just comfortable to live life. And then we also discussed how it becomes really tricky in that transition when it's a woman who's extremely driven by her career and is just going out there and wanting to bring all the bacon home and just climbing that ladder, and then maybe the husband is just not in the same wavelength. Why does that come up as an issue in marriage, that one partner, and especially if it's the woman, is very driven by her career and is out there, doing all sorts of things, getting all sorts of awards, so many achievements. And then on the other side, the husband is not maybe doing as much. Why is there conflict brewing in that kind of scenario?
Because there are many things actually. But I'm trying to go to the back of my mind to think, okay, what is the primary reason why there's conflict?
Yeah, why?
Reason 1A is that there's a gap, there's a big disconnect. The disconnect is that she might be winning outside, but not winning in the house. And the problem we have is that when we enter into marriage, you forget that in marriage you're husband and wife, we are man and woman. Period. When you get into marriage now, we're entering into marriage, and now in marriage, I'm a CEO. Yeah, in marriage, I'm the ambitious person. Yeah. In marriage, I'm the go-getter. I mean, if you're the go-getter, then in marriage, you want to see the go-getting also in the marriage.
Go get me a glass of water.
Yeah,
and don't complain.
So you are a go-getter, yes, but you get into the marriage. In the marriage, you are not the CEO. In the marriage, you are not the career woman. In the marriage, you are not the career man. In the marriage, you are a wife or you are a husband. That's what we tend to lose. That's what we tend to lose. And when you tend to lose that, we find that now we begin to fight. Why? Because I'm succeeding and you are not, the woman begins to think as though I married a man who's slow. My husband is too slow. And now undertones begin to come. That's what brings conflict. Undertones. He's slow. Me, I'm very fast. I move very fast. But this slow fellow married you in their speed. Their slowness got you in the bedroom.
Wow.
Oops. I said that right.
Yes, you did.
Yes. Their slowness produced 3 children. Or 4 or 5.
Rightly so. So, but as a woman who's out there and pulling off all these things and achieving all these things, it's quite difficult to go into the workplace, and I think I've seen it myself, and just be driven and get all those things done, and you're soaring, you're getting all this dopamine from getting all your tasks done, like you're up to date, you're doing all that, like you're moving things and you're seeing things move and you're seeing things progress, and then you come back home making that switch back to, okay, now I'm in the setting of the house. I need to maybe tone down on the instructions that I need and all the things that I need to be done before a certain time. Is it really possible for us to disengage fully from our work person and then come back into the marriage as the wife or as the husband? Because usually we say this a lot, like it's difficult for professionals to separate their character from how they are professionally. Like it just leaks into how someone speaks to you at the office, how they interact with support staff. Like you just see you see the person, the personality of the person, the character of the person leaking even in professional settings. But when we look at it in the house, is it ever a bad thing, or how can it be better managed? When you're in the workplace, you're that person, and then you transition back into the house, you're meant to be a different person.
It goes down to what works at first place. And that's always the problem is that what's working at first place? Why did I get married? Is the marriage at first place? If the marriage is not at first place, then my career is at first place. And this is a problem that is not only with women, it's also with men. But also men career becomes first place.
Yeah.
When career becomes first place, you'll hear what? You'll hear. Now, the difference of a marriage is this, is that the way God wired us is very strange. Because when a man goes out there and a man is working hard and doing all these things, and the wife maybe is choosing to be home and build the home or anything, something is actually very interesting, that the family seems to get a grounding, the marriage suffers. It's very interesting. The marriage suffers, but the family remains grounded. Like the kids will go to school, the kids will, there'll be a routine. They will find the kids have shaved their hair, they've done their hair. The family stays grounded, the parenting stays grounded, but the marriage dies, the marriage drifts. That's the funny thing about a man going. When a woman is the one who has gone, the family now loses both. It's very interesting. It loses the grounding,
and loses the marriage.
It's a very, very vicious thing altogether. And why you're saying that, why can't we switch off and come back to it? I remembered someone very many years ago, one of the most profound marriage speakers I ever heard about. He said something.
Yeah.
He said that he was asked a question, that he had a man saying that he and his wife have never gotten into a fight, but they have had disagreements. And you said he was in a sanctuary, someone preaching, and in his heart he was like, what a hypocrite. What a hypocrite. Because he knows him and his wife, when they drove to church, all the things they were saying in the car, when they got off the church, the smile Reverend entered. This man is such a hypocrite. And he said the Lord corrected him and asked him, why do you think it's not possible? He said, it's not possible. It's not possible. So he went to that guy, why are you being a hypocrite? Why are you lying to us that you've never fought with your wife? And the guy asked him a very good question. Yeah. Are you employed? The guy said yes. Have you ever fought with your colleagues? Yeah. But have you ever had disagreements? The guy said yes. But have you fought with them? The guy said no. He said the same thing. It's because at work you have chosen to put your best foot forward. In marriage you have decided, I'm going to let it all go. There's no handbrake, let it go. But at work, I'm going to be the gentleman, I'm going to speak very well, I'm going to go slowly, I'll explain myself. Sorry, excuse me please, I don't understand. Can you come again? I was trying to say this. Okay. No, sorry, you're not clear. So you're saying that we should sell. Yes. Now when you sell in the marriage, I didn't understand. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, I totally agree that can happen, and it's very common. I think the workplace demands it from you, that you're polite, that you're patient, that you speak in the right tone, that you show up on time, you do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do, you meet the deadlines. Like when you're in the workplace, it sets you up. It sets up such a huge level of accountability, and there's the reward, right? The tangible financial reward that you get every week, every month, every hour, whatever it is that your situation is, but not the same in marriage, And sometimes maybe we put more effort where we're physically seeing a tangible result coming out, and so you'll find that at the workplace, this person is totally different from how they are at home. And that imbalance is so it's dangerous, because you can be out somewhere and you look at your husband and you're like, is this Tom? Like, is this the Tom that slapped me yesterday, yet is here charming, laughing with everyone? But I also feel like there's a certain pressure in the workplace that makes you that kind of a person who's willing to just, I don't want to use that phrase, who's willing to be more understanding and accommodating. And it's sad that we're not able to apply that understanding and accommodation back in the house. And then also I feel like sometimes you're stressed up. You've been in the office with this smile the whole day, dealing with toxic colleagues, dealing with people who just don't want to do their job. Like, do your part so that I can do mine. So you've been dealing that the whole day with a smile on your face. Finally, you come back home to your safe space. Of course, you want to put down that mask. You want to put down that, happy-go-lucky personality that you've been holding, masking the whole day. You want to be yourself. And it's unfortunate that comes back to the home. but we need to catch it. We need to be like, okay, I know this person is not saying this to me because of this issue. There's something else. There's something else that's happening in the background that maybe is coming in from the office and making them be the way they are in the marriage.
Because what caught me in that conversation that is this. It's what I value. What I value. And at times we undervalue what we value. Very funny. Then we value what we should undervalue. I'm saying this because you can easily, I'm giving an example. We were where? I'm thinking we've been in many places. I remember the right example. There was a time we were leaving one of our Friday fellowships, and I remember we entered the car and you were tired, right?
Yeah.
And you were very tired, and you just want to sit in the back of the car and just be like, I just want to sleep. And maybe I've decided that I have a floric or a detour. I want to drop some people in town. What is happening in that particular context is that I value you, yes, but in that moment I am making a decision, you see, that in the very rawness of it looks like I undervalue you. You get? So what happens in a marriage is I'm talking to you maybe, and you're like, yeah, I'm okay, yeah, you're giving me 2-liners, 1-liners. Then you get a call from work, and you light up. Hello, how are you? Hey, and you light up, and is he the same person who's giving me?
Beast mode activated.
No. You are laughing at jokes, and you're like, no.
We're getting the job done. We're getting the job done.
Is this the same person I was talking to? A few minutes ago, was giving me just 1-liners. Yeah, yes. Hello, how are you? I'm not the same person. You see, what is happening there? Why is it now? This is subconscious. Why is it that it's more important for you in that moment to step up and be like, let me step up and be and step up and put a little bit of more effort. I have reserves left, but to put a little bit of more effort. Why? It's because you value that relationship. It doesn't mean that you undervalue me. No. But I've said we have the mistake of we undervalue what we value. So we sacrifice what we value for what we undervalue.
What we should undervalue.
Yeah. So in essence, instead of like, okay, fine, I'm tired, but I can pull from my socks, give you a genuine smile, and tell you, by the way, right now I'm on fumes. I just need a break a bit. Let me just recharge. Then we talk later. I'm a bit tired. Yeah. It's not that I've just had a long day. I'll talk to you about later on. Just give me. It's even easy at that particular point for. It's easy for me, for example, in our house, tell the kids, go. Your mother is tired. She needs to sleep. Go. You get? So it's easy. But you see now, when we are in the family and we are voting the grandparents and brought everything in the family, we are not stepping out. But what has happened? We are talking about growth. What has happened is that some things have happened in the day that have changed you.
Yeah.
And we change every day.
Every day, every moment.
Every day we change.
Every event has the potential to change you completely. And I think it's something that we don't always acknowledge, or we're not aware that one day apart, we're not together listening to the conversations that are happening. Sometimes you have to catch up on that. How are you? What happened in your day? And if we're not keeping track of the things that are happening in our partners' lives, we can miss those critical transitions, those gaps that say, okay, there's a level of bitterness that I'm seeing coming from my partner, but I'm able to trace it to this event. And I think maybe couples struggle with this sometimes.
And they struggle with it because, we don't discuss also what is the impact. I have a new boss at work. What's the impact of this new boss? What are the demands of this new boss? How does it affect our marriage? When we are getting married, remember we talk about 10 questions to ask before you get married. How they normally ask, you have to ask what is your partner's definition of work? In this question, you're able to define how ambitious is your spouse? You see? And also, there are people who naturally have a blessing over their life. They might not be ambitious when they got married, but ambition found them.
Okay.
They tasted victory.
Yeah.
They tasted the first promotion. It tasted good. And they went for it. Then again, to look at, are we dealing with people also who, because also we have got people who overwork and succeed at work, but they have pain. It's the pain that is pushing them to succeed. Yeah. The pain has made them work. The pain has made them to be go-getters. Because there I can put on that, just it's fine. I can put on that I can put that on at work for a whole 2 days, 3 days, spend more time at work than come home and be vulnerable because I've got my own pain. And you find this person is doing well at work, they have all the accolades, but at home they are not winning because again, a lot of change happened. There's a lot of pain in the marriage. You find, I know a lady who stayed home to raise the kids, and one time she was like, no, this case is undermining me. She got into work and pushed the paper. Yeah, to a point they got to the same level, then she passed him.
No. Well, I was gonna say nice, but
when she passed him, the marriage didn't survive. Kufa dead.
yeah, I think there's such a balance that needs to be struck. And the other day I was actually thinking about it and wondering and looking also, in the organization that I work, that which woman is it that I can look up to, who's like keeping it together, marriage is functioning, the children are there, her career is also really, and I could not find anyone to be like, okay, how did you maneuver through this? And I found that so sad because the corporate world is littered with broken families, with divorce, with struggling, marriages. Like, I don't know why this narrative is there. Is it even possible for both partners to be high flying in their careers and also have the same amount of high flying in their marriage? It always seems like one of them has to suffer.
But let me ask you this, as a man asking a woman. What is the challenge? Yeah. What is the biggest challenge for women when they are growing and they're succeeding? What's the biggest? Because even when a woman marries a man and she's earning more than the man from the point of marriage, from the day they said I do, she knew she has a house, this big house, she has this. She knew from the day she said yes. Where does the rubber meet the road? Why is it that now on average, because many men who are in that situation normally advise them in the car, tell them, you know what, you just need to be wise. You have to be wise, use wisdom, and navigate wisdom. Things happen that look like they are hurtful, but the guy chooses to look the other side. Yeah. Praying to God, telling Father, the day you bless me.
Wow.
So why is it so that? Why is it a difficult thing to navigate? Because as you've said, you will not hear, I don't think of this as often. You hardly hear of ladies they're doing extremely well in the corporate world. Yeah. Extremely well in the corporate world. And yet still, if it's stand family, the families and the marriages are a good place, the kids are a good place. It's interesting though, that in the statistics, the women who are in business, the women in business have a bit more of a higher success rate. That's the strange thing. A bit higher success rate.
Yeah. I think it's probably the flexibility of managing your own schedules and your own working times. That's what pops in my head first of all, because when you're employed, it's your 8 to 5. And in some days, it's your 8 to 11. Remember those seasons that I've had at work? Sometimes it's 8 to 12:30, 1 o'clock, coming back home. It's such rigidity in how you can manage your time. And so you're spending 8 hours plus in the office, giving your all, really, your time, your attention, your brain, all the technical stuff that you're doing, all the management stuff that you're doing. You're pouring yourself out. And then you come back home and there's someone else, there's people who also need you to pour back into them. And we always discuss this as the double burden on women, because it almost seems as though we have to work at work. Then you come back home and it's another shift. Why? The kids need to eat. The house needs to be in order. I mean, we're so fortunate that we work in a country. I mean, we live in a country where help is, readily available and affordable. So a lot of women have that extra support of having someone live in and support you through the work. But still, there's things as a woman you still need to keep track of when you come back from work. Were the dishes washed? There's so many things that you need to do. Have the children done their homework? Is someone ill? Like, all those things, society and the way things are just framed in marriage, fall heavier on the woman. And so there's fatigue. There's a lot of fatigue. There's a lot of fatigue. So pushing through that fatigue sometimes is quite difficult for working women, Another thing is hormones. Hormones are like another subject on its own, right? And then there's the childbearing, there's maternity, there's changes happening in your body, changes happening in your emotions, changes in your hormones. Like, you're just a walking, talking ball of change. And yet you have to maintain a certain standard of mental stability in the office and even in the house. I think for most women, it's a very difficult thing to manage. And I think we need to be more realistic and more supportive of women who are juggling those two areas. In terms of just coming back into the marriage, it's your safe space and telling your partner that, okay, this is what I'm going through in this season of my career, and this is how I need you to support me. And the partner also being open enough to be like, okay, I see why we did not spend good time yesterday together. I see why you snapped at me when I didn't put my socks in the basket. Let me support you so that you're more rested, you're more available to do the fun things of the marriage.
But you see, this is where we kind of get lost in the wilderness. And as I have this conversation, I'm thinking this is where we get lost in the wilderness. This is where part of the things that makes a couple grow apart.
Yeah.
Why am I saying this? It's because in all that which you have said, if you take a balancing scale right now and balance it like this, it's basically saying that when a marriage begins to start, that it starts with the weight tilted on the woman's side. And so as the marriage continues through every growth curve, the man on this side has to keep on finding a way to bring the scale back to balance. I'm saying that because for a viewer who's watching now and is listening to our conversation and thinking, okay, fine, this makes a lot of sense. What you're saying makes a lot of sense. There's someone now asking there, look, okay now, but as men, as a man, do I look at the changes differently? It is easier for me to sit as a man and say that no. Society is unfair. Society is heavy on men. Why? Because I've been a man. You see, I've not carried children. I may not know hormones. I may not know all those things. I may not know them in the language you have.
Yeah. But
I have my own language that I know these things. Now, when we get into the marriage, what happens? You've articulated that very clearly. Okay, I've done the way you've put it down, and the way you've put it down is so well articulated because it is what is easier for women to articulate in any marriage. It's very easy. I've got this picture and it's a very easy because there's a very safe space for women to say this. So even when growth is taking place and a man looks from the outside and thinks, if my wife takes up this role, the family will not survive. The family will die. He cannot say that because society has put it that if I say don't take that position, it's a good position, but if you take it, the family will suffer. If he says that, the first thing that will come out is what? Is that this man is not supportive, doesn't want me to grow, this man is oppressive, blah, 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 all those things come back. Potentially, even now they gang up. If the lady's mother is alive, she'll even go to the mom. Tell the mom, I have a promotion. I need to go to this particular country, XYZ. And my husband is saying no. And the mom says, what do you mean he's saying no? These are backdated men. But this guy is looking at, okay, the family might actually suffer. So how it has been placed is that, as you have articulated this well enough and clearly enough, a man on the other hand can't articulate the same. Because there'll be no grace. Yeah, men
What
don't
do you
get.
see? What do you see? What is the mirror of what I've said? How do you see it?
You see, where a man is sitting, for example, I'll sit and say this. I'll give a simple example. Let's start from the very top. We're talking about balancing the things,
Yeah.
balancing work, balancing what. How many times have I had men, the wife saying, "Oh, he doesn't spend time with the kids," or he comes home and he doesn't talk. He comes home and he's very quiet. He doesn't say any word. But still, this is a man still also going out there to work, doing his own professional duty, just like the wife is doing, trying to do his own things the way he has been wired to do. So maybe I'm out there, I'm trying to build, I'm working hard, I'm in the office at 5 in the morning, I leave at 10 at night, I do this, all these things. So why is it that statistically more men end up with high blood pressure than ladies? You see? Yeah. So you look at that. Why is it statistically that more men are like to die from stress? Most men like to die from suicide because of depression. Why are the numbers more on the men than the ladies? Because the way it has been wired is that gear one, even in pregnancy, gear one is what? I'm the one carrying the baby.
Yes.
That's gear one. And we talked about last week. Gear two is what? Is that I'm the one carrying the baby. But you're also a human being with real emotions, with real processes, with real growth curves. And I need to understand also what is the view of this particular thing from where you're sitting. So you hear, I have a case of a man who left the country. The guy was high flying in Kenya.
Yeah.
The guy was a deputy, was assistant CEO, a very big company. And I've got an opportunity to go to Belgium. Yeah. And they had to go as a family. And the guy chose, fine, I'll resign. The guy went to Belgium.
Oh.
Yeah. Why? If I don't go and support her, they will say I'm anti-women growth. So Jamaica is a match and niende tu. I'm giving you backstory.
Okay.
Very thin.
Yeah.
If I tell her, if I tell her don't go, this opportunity, can we rewire it? Can we find a way that you can have our cake and eat it? The family needs you, our kids are young, I need you. Can we? No, the discussion was in a way that, okay, fine, I'm going to resign. Let me do it, because you have to go as a family. We are not going to split the family. So the guy abandoned his almost getting a CEO job. I don't see the company because people can Google the guy. Went to Belgium. When he went to Belgium, he stayed there. He was the guy who was staying home.
Wow.
Because now when he went there, the lady went to the company that she worked for. She was being transferred. Him had to go look for a career.
Wow.
He could not get a job at that
all the way
level.
from scratch.
So after 4 years of him being the one picking the kids, dropping them in school, he's the one doing the things in the house, all these things, his dream that he had died.
Right.
But he could not say. But what happens? You just find the guy is retreating. Because now also, how does he say? He's in Belgium, he's being fed, he's being paid for rent, the kids are being educated. What does he say? So he's silent, my dreams are dead, but they have died with me. He keeps quiet. So by the time they're coming back to Nairobi, he cannot rebuild. And also, age is gone. He's at an age where he can't even risk as well. He's trying to rebuild. He's at the bottom of the barrel, doesn't know what to do. When you look at that level of change and transition that has taken place, is that I looked at that man in my office and this man could not, they did not discuss. And I told him, if you had met me those years, I would have told you, do not go. Yeah, do not go. Because at the end of the day, for the marriage to survive, one person in every season must sacrifice.
Wow.
There's never a season where you sacrifice both at the same level. Every season in marriage, one must sacrifice more than the other. That is why marriage is still death do us part. There are seasons when the man sacrifices more than the wife, and there are seasons when the wife sacrifices more than the husband. They can never be mutual sacrifice. They can never be.
It's interesting that you were saying he went to Belgium and he was the one doing the school runs, the one at home, the one, maybe even cooking for the children, ensuring that their homework is done. And then you said that his dreams died. But then on the flip side, this is what most women are doing. And so it's a very interesting territory that we're going into.
Let's go.
It's that thing of, so if we're doing all those house things, you know, are my dreams dying as a woman? Secondly, is it then safer for the marriage for the man to take on a certain role and to be the one who's able to take on those, you know, work opportunities abroad? And then is it safer then for the woman to stay back and do all those other things and then have their dreams, you know? Because I also feel like women, you know, when you enter into the marriage and you have the children, it changes a lot. And like it or not, we can debate about this for the whole evening. The change is often heavier on the woman. That's just my opinion. The transition as a woman, yes. The transition, what we give in order for that child to come into this world is a lot more, in my opinion. And so you've entered into this cycle where you're a mother now, you know, you're a wife, you're working as well, or maybe you're not, right? So how do you balance it? Like, is it that women are just supposed to have that role of the one staying back and not going after their dreams and not daring to make those transitions because it would be detrimental to the dreams of the man? Should we just stay in our own lanes? Like, I'm trying to really decipher this scenario. I mean, the right thing for them to have done would have been to sit down and discuss it and really try and be open about it. But you know, as a couple, sometimes you're so passionate about your career, about your opportunities, about your own growth. So we don't know if they would have even agreed. But what would have been the better option?
You see, there's a lady who made a joke once. I don't know if you saw this lady, a very successful Asian lady, a doctor. And she was talking about how she's very successful. And she said that once a woman gets married and begins her career, the ranking of things in her life is her career, her children, maybe even her siblings, then the husband.
Wow.
You know, and she said that is just the natural way that at times women look at it. Is that first things first is I have to get my own things. Now, if she loves Jesus a lot, then there is maybe Jesus and her career will fight. When Jesus maybe just number one, career number two, or vice versa. Then her children. Then the man is there somewhere. Now, this is the thing that we tend to overlook in marriage. We don't overlook where men get lost in their marriages. Why would this guy go leave the house, go sit somewhere? You know, why is it so? Why is it that you'd find that there are conversations that a man is having with another woman and can't have with his wife? It's because, as you're talking about, that it's not about, one of the things that keeps a marriage together is the ability to dream together. That's the thing. And the moment that we can no longer dream together, there becomes a problem. One person officially has become the martyr. That's it. The marriage must be in a way that the transitions we are making, we are dreaming together. What do I want after 30 years with you? After 40 years with you? Do I want to sit after 40 years with you and tell you, by the way, there's a building I built, there's a house that I built, there's a PhD I got, there's a nini that I got, look at what I did well. You know, no, I have succeeded well for my dreams. But in the process, what did I do? I assassinated yours. So we have to have a conversation whereby, without being with prejudice, that I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous. But can we look for a way that we can have our cake and eat it? Can you look for a way that you can succeed in your career, that you can grow and do very, very well in the business that you do, or I grow very well, and still after 30 years, we are still together having breakfast. We are still together laughing. We're still together cracking jokes. But not for me to silently resent you. And this goes both ways. Not that I silently resent you, that I sacrificed my dreams and what did I get for it? What did I get for it? Because also, there's another gap. And I don't know many people see this. There's another gap. The gap is growing apart. That's what we don't see. So when you are pursuing your career and I'm pursuing my career, rule number one is that if we don't have a meeting place, we are growing apart. I'm creating conversations and a social life and an ecosystem that is independent of you.
Yeah.
I will not come home and repeat the jokes. You see, I have built my ecosystem. Now we travel. I'll give her let me even bring it home better. A man and a woman are dating when they're in campus.
Yeah.
They're all doing their degrees. The chick gets pregnant in third year. Doesn't graduate. The guy graduates. Says, I still love you, I'm going to marry you. He marries her.
Yeah.
Yes. He gets a job at a bank. He marries a wife with his degree. She moves in. They are together. She left at third year. She didn't finish. Year one at work, the guy is making money. He's coming home. They're laughing. But every day he's going home. He's coming. He's going to work. What is happening? He's growing.
Yeah.
He's dealing with people. He's having interactions. Conversations are changing. His colleagues tell him, by the way, dude, go do your masters. Jamaa ameingia masters. Kingia masters kidogo promoted manager.
But why is that growth lopsided?
How?
Because, I mean, I would imagine that they were dating and she got pregnant, and it's great that he graduated and now he's working at the bank. Your colleagues are telling you to do your masters, yet you remember that you conceived a child with your wife and she was not able to complete her. So growth should not be lopsided, especially in that scenario.
That's what I'm coming to. We with this story.
I jumped okay.
Yeah, you hijacked my story. So the guy goes, gets a master's, proceeds.
Yeah.
Now he's having conversations. He chooses to get into maybe investment banking. He's coming, he's talking to people at work every day, people have masters like him, people have experience. He's traveled to France, traveled to Wall Street, come back after 3 months. He's coming home. The conversation in the house, no matter how much he tries, the conversation in the house is Nani broke a cup, the house help of number 5 fought the other one.
I mean, that's what happens when you stay at home the whole day with the children and the house issues.
And that is her world. And he has made a different world. So he must be deliberate to bridge these two worlds together. Now here's the issue. If he comes back and tells the wife, I need you to go back to school. And the wife says, to do what? I'm raising the children.
Wow.
That discussion itself, a couple have to think 10 years from now, what is going to happen to us. Flip it again. We have a man got a degree. I have this case I've dealt with. Man gets a degree, wife gets a degree, they get married, they both enter at entry level at the bank. The guy gets promoted, becomes our manager, thinks, by the way, let me push my wife back to school, pays for the wife. We know of a couple, me and you, that the guy was doing well in business, took the wife to school to study law.
Yeah.
And the law took the marriage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah. So what happened now? She goes to school, does her master's, she finishes. She comes but then I want to do my PhD. The guy says, I'll sponsor you the PhD. Sponsors the PhD. As all this happening, what's happening? Maybe this man has sat back, has sacrificed himself to say, I want to do this, I want to play golf, I won't do what, I'm helping my wife to advance. When the wife is advancing, and now also what happens? She begins to build a different ecosystem. She forgets there's someone who made us. So there are two things. There's one person who has gone, the man has gone, forgotten the wife.
Yes.
Then there's where the wife has gone, forgotten the husband. When those two things happen in a marriage, what happens? We grow separately.
Yeah.
So now I'm talking about, now the man is bitter. I took a loan taker for masters. Muone sasa. Hata nisalimii siku hizi. Sasa jua kuna PhD anaona amesoma sana. When I say something, are you sure?
The outcome of marriage is so unpredictable. Like, you don't know how it's going to pan out, which makes marriage a very scary, at the same time, very fulfilling, very wild, very unhinged. Like, you just don't know how your partner will transition through that growth. You know, it's like we want the best for each other most of the time, most couples. But then how that best that you want for them and they have changes them is a totally different story. But I feel like handling change and handling transitions really need to be looked into as something that can make or break the marriage.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All these things that we do, we need to be constantly discussing, okay, when you're done with this master's, what's the plan in enriching the family? Like, we should always come back to base. We should always come back to base. In as much as we're traveling the world, we're making all these achievements. Okay, that's great. I'm happy for you. Well done. Let's come back to base and see how we can use this to enrich the marriage. But I feel like most couples don't do this. Most couples don't share in the achievements of their partner, and they don't know how to reconstruct that achievement to benefit the marriage, which it should always do.
Yeah, I think, as you're saying, I think the biggest discussion we talked about this last week. We've gone through a few transitions.
A lot.
Okay, maybe a bit more.
Every day is like a transition. Every day is like a transition. Oh, that's new. Okay, all right. How do I adjust?
Because there are things that remain constant.
Yeah.
Number one, when the children are born,
Yeah.
the marriage has changed. Number two, when you get a raise at work, the job, the marriage has changed. Number three, when you go through a physical change, you add weight, you lose weight, something has changed. Number four, your age. Your age. That is something people must look at. Your age.
Yes.
That one
Okay, thank
changes a lot of things.
All right.
A lot of things. Yes, a lot of things. Because there are things that life brings to you as you move in different stages of life. And so, it's the reality of, what did I do with my best years? Do I feel as though my best years, or the years that I felt I would have done more with you, I didn't do? So it's good to discuss these things with a fine. Okay, fine. We are married. I am a person who wants to succeed in life. I want to live well. I want to drive a big car. I want to have a jet. I want to do all these things. Now, these are the things I've put out there. Are they achievable? By faith, I know they are. But there'll be a sacrifice. But let's go back to basics. What impact will me pursuing to be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company mean to our marriage? Will we still have our holidays? Will we still have our dates? Will we still play our games? Will we still flirt during the day? So what happens is that as we keep on growing, you find what? What do people do? People, they flirt more with colleagues. They laugh more with colleagues than they do with their own spouses. Why? I have forgotten. So I need to go back to think, okay, fine, this change that I am making, how does it affect the marriage? I want to be supported, yes.
Yeah.
But also, I don't want to demand support. I want support to come instinctively.
No,
I want it to come, not instinctively, and support to come organically.
Yes.
It should come organically. So that I'm telling you, this is support that I need. I want to go. I remember, it was a time, I think we went through this a couple of minutes ago, where you were working. I think you had a lot of projects at the time at work. Things had picked up at work. And we have a habit of going to work together, but now I had to be going back home by myself. At the time, you decided that you'll be finishing work and then you go to the gym, and we're staying very far. So I'd go home, then the car would come back, pick you, and you come home at like 9:30. And every day you went to the gym. As much as I was happy you're going to the gym, I was thinking, but the marriage is suffering. Because you come now, not only has the job taken your energy, the gym has taken your energy as well. So if I want to play tennis, Jesus is Lord.
Maybe
Let's pray.
tomorrow.
And tomorrow, ma'am, you're back at the gym again. So you see, and there was a lot of transitions that happened in that window. Then again, remember again when COVID came. When COVID came, you were working from the house.
Yeah.
I was not working from the house. I was outside every single day. I was in the office every single day, meeting couples every single day. When I'm coming back in the evening, I don't know what's happening. We're in different spaces.
Yeah.
We're in different rooms. I have interacted with people, heard their stories, heard their things. You have a different interaction. You find that we are sitting together, we are trying to talk, but we're looking at the world differently. Because also as we grow, our world view changes.
Yeah, but you can't completely wrap that in, because yes, in the marriage the two have become one, but we're two individuals with totally different experiences, and we will see the world always. I don't know if we ever see the world the same ever. It will always be like, okay, we're not totally in agreement in how we see it. Our perspectives will always be different. But how do we bring those different perspectives back into the marriage? How can couples really keep marriage at first place? Because there's so much pressure. There's so much pressure to bring money you know, even for that marriage that you want to stand, a huge part of that marriage standing needs the children to have gone to school, needs food to be in the house, needs rent to be paid, mortgage if you're doing that, loans. Like there's so much demand. How do we keep marriage at first place? How can couples do it?
It's the conversation. You have to look at, what am I willing to let go for the sake of the marriage to work? That's always the hardest question to have. Remember we talked about this, I think, when I was beginning the Bible class on Fridays, and we talked about it the other week. And out of it, the Bible class ended up on a Friday, and our date nights were on Friday. And those are two different things. Because one, we are examining the marriage required. Yes, we are transitioning, but what does the marriage, how does this affect the marriage? Every Friday, you'll be in that fellowship from 6 to 9 or to 10. How does this affect us? What adjustments are we making? But we journey together in the transition. We did not talk about it.
We did not.
So,
we never had any discussion about it.
So what happened is that I feel in that point that you are doing what? I feel like you are fighting me. You are fighting this God-given vision, you know. And you are thinking, I've been thrown under the bus. What happens to the marriage? What happens to this? I just look forward to this. So what happens? Before we get through the silent resentment, because we have to go through silent resentment. Before we finish the silent resentment, now we come, okay. This is what I was not against your vision. I'm just saying this is what I wanted. And I'm like, oh, I wasn't against the date night. I just, you know, so finally having a discussion like that. But you see, it's going back to, what does this affect? What does this mean for us? And what does this mean for us? We have to begin from the intangible into the tangibles. The intangible is what happens to our friendship, what happens to our intimacy, what happens to our communication. You see, those are the intangibles. Then from there, what happens now from there, I'm moving on to the tangibles. Okay, if we're sacrificing an extra 200K a month coming in as revenue, how does this tangible also affect our intangible? That's the discussion that couples don't have. So because I am highly ambitious and my spouse is not, and I'm going for a CEO job, I need a discussion, what does this CEO role entail? Because I have a demand for you to support me, but also I must remember, we're in the marriage, two of us. I also need to cooperate. I can't just want you to support me in my career. You know, I didn't marry your career. When we got married, the career, more couples than not, was not there. So I didn't marry the mother of my children. I married my wife. I didn't marry the father of my children. I didn't marry the man who pays bills. Didn't marry the man who pays rent. I just married you. Can we talk about that? Let's sit on the table. Undak for your masters this hour. This means your evening classes. How many days? So for 2 years, every day you're coming home at 9. Okay. Saturdays you're working, you are in the office in the morning working, afternoon you're doing remedial classes. Then Sunday you need to sleep. Okay, so I wait for 2 years. That's a discussion that should be had.
And I think both parties should come to the discussion table open, because, you know, sometimes something as intense as a career, I'd have to trust my partner with everything, really, to be able to be that open and be like, okay, there's this opportunity that I think I'm securing. It's in Venezuela. They need me to be there in 2 months, you know, and to be free enough to want that opportunity, but then to be willing to it's so difficult, because a career speaks so much to your identity, you know, to your purpose, what you've been working, your sweat, your blood and sweat, literally. For a couple to sit down and speak about that, it's another level of intimacy. But if you don't do it, you're literally setting the path to separation. Why? Because we have to be open, we have to be candid. You know, this new opportunity, this new door that's opened, how is it going to affect the marriage? How can we restructure ourselves so that the marriage does not fall apart? in the event that we discuss and really look at it, and financially or for whatever other reason we see that Venezuela is something that we can do, how do we then adjust ourselves to support the marriage even as one partner has gone off to work? Because at the end of the day, we still want to grow in our careers. We still want to keep the marriage functioning. We need the money to support, So it's having those open conversations of how do we adjust ourselves. If we put our heads together, we can look through all these questions and all these issues and come to an understanding that is good for both partners. But sometimes it's a very difficult thing to do because you're like, this is my opportunity. And if maybe I bring it on the table, this guy or this woman is going to block me. And usually it's like for the woman, this is not an opportunity, and I feel like my husband is not going to support me. Because it also takes a totally different breed of man to go to Belgium to support his wife. That is rare. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Did the marriage work? It's unfortunate that it did not. But it takes a totally different breed of love and concern for a husband to do that.
But you see, when it remains to be a team, when it remains to be a team, to be a team, okay, we have gone to France together, but this is the thing. In 1 year, if there's no opportunity for you, I think the money we are getting, you go back, sit something back at home. Let's find a way. Let's shuttle it.
But still, it's so 50-50. Like long distance is
still also very difficult because and that's what the couple must put it into calculation, and that's what we don't look at because we are naturally selfish. You said something very powerful, which is identity, and that's the biggest issue in marriage because we are two different people, two different worldviews, all those things. Identity becomes the hardest thing. And what we have assumed is that our identity is in our titles. We assume our identity is in the success we have at work. We have forgotten that our identity is not in those things, but that is what life has made us to be. And so to go into a meeting with your high school friends, when I go with my high school friends and I meet them, like, what are you doing right now? And people will try to say what they're doing. 90% of people in the room will say that they are consultants. That's what everyone says. So I'm a consultant. So even the real consultants get eaten there. But you will not hear a man going and saying, you know what, right now, I'm just holding the fort. I'm running a few things. I'm doing an online business. I'm running the fort. My wife is in Mogadishu. For 6 months, she's working, so I'm holding the fort. I'm the one just doing my own things in the house, what a woman to say, no, me, I'm at home, I'm raising the kids, all these things. I met, and this is where I was challenged once. I thank God for life and experience. I'll not name the name of the person, but it's a person That time I was still studying law, and I remember one of my lecturers gave a very controversial statement. But I was a young man, it resonated with my soul. I'm born again now. The man said something funny. He said that this is the wife, I have my wife at home, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, but I'm going for a function. I'm going for an LSK function. I'm going for a function with who? Like, who do I take? And the guys say, hey, you take your wife. I said, no, I take my mistress. And the guy gave very good legal arguments as to why. And I thought, this is a very wise man. I was a young man then.
Okay.
Yes, I was not born again. Yes, very young, in fact, extremely young. What I'm saying now cannot be used against me in a court of law.
But in the marriage.
So I went and I was talking to one of my friends, and it's that gap you're talking about, whereby the guy has gone succeeded so much, has left the wife behind. And marriage is a problem because when you leave one person behind, in marriage you must find a way not to leave your partner behind. If you're going to pursue to go to school, don't leave them behind. If you're going to do you're going to start a diet, don't leave them behind. You're going to start praying, don't leave them behind. Because also there are those gaps that are there even in spiritual matters. You can be both born again, but one person is really gone. And what happens that you go and you find that you're likely to talk or conversate with people who understand your language. Because also we don't get in for that people's world.
Yeah.
I don't want to know your world. I don't want to know what's happening in your world. I don't want to know. But you see, if I know about your world, I can ask you a question. Tell me this, and you tell me something. I can contribute. You are a doctor. I tell you, okay, I was watching ER the other day. Is it true that this happens? There are discussions we can have in line with that. We are sharing each other's world.
Yeah.
So I met a friend of mine, and those days, and we were talking about it. And the father was a very successful businessman, and the mom was a farmer. You know, and I used to see the mom once in a while coming to church. The mom was a farmer. And I had this discussion with her. I told her, by the way, like now you and your dad is going for those meetings. See, now your dad goes with a mistress. She said, to do what? I said, I mean, your mom is a farmer. You know, I've never seen your mom.
How shallow of you, baby. How shallow.
I said, this cannot be used against me.
Oh my goodness.
I was young at the time.
Am I hearing this?
I was young at the time.
Hey.
I was young. I'm still young.
Your mother is a farmer.
You know, so I told you the lecturer gave an idea. Now, why am I being?
Okay.
I'm being.
Go
I've
on,
changed.
finish your story. Yes.
I've changed.
Yes,
since.
you've changed.
Yes. So the guy. And because the guy gave a very good argument. He was like, you know, you've gone, you know, you're doing well, you know, you're successful. You go home, you know, maybe you come home, your wife has fungared those vitambas or whatever. But the mistress, like, you know, the mistress has dressed all those funny things. Anyway, I told this girl, this chick was younger than me by 7 years, I think. She was, I think, 14 or 15. See how young I was then?
Okay.
When you're talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. She said, we were in church. You're talking about, because it's a family that I knew very well.
Yeah.
She told me, no. When my father has a function, he sends my mom money.
Wow.
My mom goes to the salon.
As he should.
My mom dresses well, and my mom comes to the function. And what hit me was not that he sent her money. That's not the point. And that's the point that you
I was not on that point.
Yeah. But this what caught me is that he did not leave his wife behind. The key thing in marriage is don't leave your partner behind.
Yeah.
And that cuts both ways. Because you find that even if the roles are reversed and the lady has more, I know of a lady I met who told me, by the way, I went to Dubai, I imported a Mercedes, gave it to my husband. You know, I have a big car, my husband drives a big car also. No one knows when they see us, I'm the one who earns more. He drives a big car also. He's like, you know, and he's like, you know, the time when the car was spoiled, I went to Dubai, imported the whole interior, fixed the car, painted it for him, whatever. I asked her, so you took the car to the garage? She said, no. I gave him the money. I told him, here's the card, go fix the car. He fixed the car and came. I always ensure that. Every month, I ensure that whatever I'm doing, every single time, I don't leave him behind.
Yeah.
The guy was there.
Yeah, that's amazing teamwork.
Yeah. So the key thing is that don't leave your partner behind. That's the biggest gap.
What about the partner who wants to be left behind? Because personalities and characters are different. You know, you could be on the high life, you know, getting the things that you want, getting things done, but then your partner is just not on the same wavelength as you. So you could be suggesting, let's do this together, but the other person is just not willing.
And at times they're not willing. At times they don't have the capacity.
Exactly.
They had the capacity to court you and marry you. They succeeded and give you babies. And they succeeded. If they were failures, they would have never married you in the first place. They would have failed at their proposal. They succeeded. They succeeded. That human being is not useless.
Job description has been fulfilled.
No, with all your intelligence and your go-getting, ulikatiwa. Yes, all the intelligence and go-getting, ulingia box. So this person has a skill. Yes, they're not absolute. Yeah, they're fulfilled. That they're good at something.
So you focus on your skill.
What now you do with them now is that now you look at the person and know who you married. Say, know who you married. Why do you want to force someone to be an entrepreneur and they don't have it in them? Why do you want to force them to apply for that job and they don't want to apply for the job? They don't have the capacity. Also, age is important. And I speak as a man. There are things men don't do at particular ages. They don't.
There has to be some middle ground, because you could be going to all these corporate things and, you know, you're Miss regional director of blah, blah, blah. And so here's my husband. He is a what?
He's a consultant.
He's a consultant.
Yeah.
What is he
He consulted me to get married.
Those questions come to
He consulted me to get married and I said yes.
Wow. So that's it?
He consulted me and I said yes.
Okay.
My husband said yes, he's a consultant.
I don't agree with that, but yeah.
It's
very tricky. It's very tricky.
The thing with men is
Yeah.
keep him dreaming. That's the thing women don't do. Keep the man dreaming.
That's a top tip.
Yeah. If the man is thinking, I want to start a business of selling mushrooms, keep him dreaming.
For how long?
Tell him you'll do the mushrooms. You already know who you married.
Wow.
It's very rare in marriages that you have the same ability to go as far. You cannot, in marriage, a successful marriage is that one person made it and brought the other one in. That's it.
I mean,
unless you're two people who came
Yeah.
from extremely billionaire families and met together, and you never have the same amount of wealth still. There's always a person who's a higher beneficiary of that marriage. Always. That's why it's now marriage. So there's a possibility that this woman gets to the mountaintop. What does she do? She brings the husband to the mountaintop and tells him, now listen, I'm not even going to tell anyone. I don't want people to know. I'm not going to preach about it and say my husband doesn't have a job. And no, I'm not going to do those things. I'm going to ensure. But this is what we do. When there's that level of respect in the marriage, the marriage will stand.
Yeah, I think that's a very difficult thing to do, especially for women who are earning more. It's like, okay, when it begins, you can, cover, but it gets to a place where it's like...
But that's where I normally have a discussion that is interesting. We will pick up next week.
Yeah.
Is that why is it that when it comes to that, is when women become women?
We're not women before that.
Before that, no. Before that, no. You know, I mean, a few minutes ago we just talked about the house and taking of the kids, and you are. Is she killing her dream? Is she letting go of her dream? You know, then when it comes to money now, I'm a woman, that's a man. You know.
No, I didn't say that.
It kind of
taking
is.
it out of context.
Because a man can do that for his wife throughout her entire life. A man can take care of his wife throughout their life. This is a case that we have seen. We have seen men doing it through the life, paying the bills, taking care of the kids, doing what, all those things. We have seen it. We have seen men. We know men who have done that. But why is it that when it comes now to the woman is growing, she becomes, now she steps back into being a woman and like, but I'm a woman. He's the one who's supposed to do. Now you're a woman.
She didn't know she was a woman till the money came.
Oh, till the money came, now she became a woman. No, that's a man's responsibility. When they're married and they're married, why am I changing diapers? Can you change diapers? The nurturing changes overnight. I don't know why. This is something we have discussed. I don't know why it flips. And that's, I think, what also confuses. But why does it? That's the thing. Why does it?
But
flip?
it also depends how she was treated when she did not have, when she was not empowered financially. Because I also feel that certain men take advantage of those situations and mistreat their wives because their wives are not putting something on the table. It could even be subconscious. You're calling all the shots, even on issues where really your wife should have a voice. And so I kind of feel like sometimes women, when they come into money and empowerment, they now want to rise up and fight back what has been oppressing them. But we can discuss this another episode because...
But can you look at that demon? We look at that demon in two ways in the next episode, because there's a demon whereby she might have been treated badly, or subconsciously she is preempting. Yes.
Or the money just brought out her true colors.
Yeah,
also.
because there are many things that come to play. There are ways that I as a man, maybe there's a way I saw my father. There are things maybe I saw my father go through. Maybe there are things I saw my dad. Maybe I saw my dad losing his job, and I saw my mom mistreat him. And therefore, from that time, I realized that as a man, if I have money, that's all I need in a marriage. If I don't have money, I have no voice. Maybe this woman saw the mom suffering, and the mom told her, by the way, get your own cash, get your own things. And so some of these things are transferred subconscious. But it's a rich discussion to have next time, because we need to look at that from that very rich angle of how goalposts change in marriage. Yeah, how goalposts change, because when goalposts change a lot in marriage, you no longer know what you're doing. You don't know if you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. You don't know if you're accepted or not, if they're loved or not. You don't know anymore.
Yeah.
And the problem when the goalposts change rapidly is that we don't remember the role the person played. And I think, just to sign off, I'd say the key thing is, even at the mountaintop, it's good to recognize the role your partner played.
Yeah.
When you remember and recognize the role your partner played, you will always appreciate them through the growth changes. You will always appreciate them. The problem is if you don't recognize that she stayed home to raise the kids.
That's so important, so critical.
And that this person sacrificed to come and join me. And the sacrifice that I go to school, that recognition is what leaves the most pain. Because when you recognize, you value. When you value, you appreciate.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope we can spend good time together again on the next episode. My name is Salamba.
I'm Victor Salamba.
Join us again next week on Marriage Kindergarten, the ABCs of
making it
work. See you next time.
Stay blessed.